Hey guys, welcome to this next YouTube video. Today we're going to run through a drill to try and improve the overall flow of your stroke. Let's get into the video. So if we want to have a nice flow to our putting stroke, it's really important to ensure that we have a nice flow in the transition. What I mean by that is we want the putt head to be flowing nicely at the top of the backstroke into the downswing. We don't want to be getting to the top and rushing our transition, and we don't want to be getting to the top and getting quite hesitant into the stroke, as that's both of them things is taking the flow out of the putting stroke. In order to have a nice flow in our putting stroke, this part of the stroke really needs to flow and sort of join the backstroke and the downstroke together. So how we're going to do that is by having a smoother transition. And we're going to achieve a smoother transition by firstly not locking out our wrists. This is the number one issue that I see with a few players is when they get to the top, when they get at address, their wrists are really locked out. So they're putting pretty firm sort of thing. It looks okay, but there's not a lot of feel based in that because firstly, they've got too much grip pressure and their wrists are too locked. So there's no flow that can be created. When their wrists are locked, it's all pretty much one plane. And again, there's zero feel to that move. Vice versa, we don't want to have too sort of flexy wrists. We don't want to create in too much flexion, too much extension, too much ulnar and radial. But we want to have sort of a nice amount of pressure on the grip and onto our wrists, enough so we can create that flow. So say if like 10 is really firm, no sort of flow at all, and then 1 is sort of too much flow, we want to be gripping it around about 5. So the pressure we set on the grip is around about 5. This is then going to allow us to bring in that flow into the transition. So the key is here is when we are approaching our transition, what we want to feel is a little bit of lag. Again, when we have our wrist locked, there's no lag that can be created. And when our sort of hands and wrists aren't locked enough, then there's going to be too much lag created. And that's not going to provide us with the best control over the putter head. We want to be finding that middle ground. So we want to feel when we get to the top that there's a slight bit of lag. So when we get to the top of our backstroke, the handle is moving a little bit ahead of the putter head, only by a couple of centimeters. What this is going to do, as you can see, is create that nice flow into the downstroke. So it's going to match up and join the backstroke and the downstroke as one. So it creates that nice feel, okay, and it creates that nice flow. So you can see there when I'm getting to the top, hands are moving a little bit ahead of the putter head, which is creating that nice flow to come into the end of our forward stroke. So that's the only feel I want you to have. There's not really any training aid or any sort of drill that I want you to try and get this. I want you just to feel that when you get to the top, handle moves a little bit ahead of the putter head. So what it should look like is this. So I'll try to exaggerate it a little bit there for you, but you can see there that when I got to the top, I created that nice flow. Little bit of lag, and what that's going to do is allow the backstroke and the downstroke to join in and match up as one. So just a pretty quick and easy, simple tip there to try and create a bit more flow to your stroke. If you're someone that struggles with tempo or just general flow, try this, get to the top, feel that little bit of lag in the transition, and that should join up the backstroke and the downstroke nicely together. So I hope you enjoyed that video on just creating a nice bit of lag. If you can like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.